about this Hawks team, I would have said, yes, this time, look fast forward in the future, Trae Young's going to be asking for out. We're going to have to blow up this team, and we're going to have to completely rebuild. He salvaged all of that. Now, the Hawks got lucky getting the #1 overall pick, but Zachary Regis-Shea, that wasn't the guy people expected to go #1 overall. People were calling it the worst draft class ever. There's only like 2 guys that have been any good for their respective teams, and the Hawks got possibly the best rookie. So he deserves credit for that. But beyond that, DeJounte Murray, that was an unwinnable situation. I didn't think there was any way the Hawks would turn that into a positive thing. And they did that by getting Dyson Daniels, who might win Most Improved Player this season. So I don't really know what they expected from him. Could he have been a little bit better? Maybe. But at the end of the day, he's got the Hawks in a pretty good situation. And Anzi Salah and whoever they hire for the next president of basketball operations is in a pretty good spot to make this team a legitimate contender.
He was never going to get all those first-round picks back that Travis Schlenk, the former GM, was forced to trade away for DeJounte Murray because of the ownership group. They wanted DeJounte Murray. Even though Travis Schlenk advised against it, he was forced in that trade. There was never getting any of those first-round picks back. And Landry Fields got 2 first-round picks and Dyson Daniels, who's finished second in defensive player of the year. I mean, that is a winning proposition in any circle.
There's no doubt that Dyson Daniels by himself right now is a better player than DeJounte Murray.
Yep.
And he got that and picks and Larry Nance Jr. That was highway robbery. That's one of the best trades the Hawks have ever made.
And you move on from a guy in this situation, it sends a message out to possible candidates where it's like, even if you do a halfway decent job, your job really isn't all that secure. And I think maybe there was some semblance of, this makes a little bit of sense when a report/rumor comes out that the Hawks are targeting Bob Myers, who is the architect of the Warriors dynasty. He's currently working with the Commanders and ESPN, just biding time maybe until his next little project. That makes sense. I would fire everybody for Bob Myers, but what are the chances we get somebody like that?
Yeah, it's interesting that this report came out, and this report was coming from Mark Stein, and he mentioned Bob Myers, and Bob Myers is kind of the face of any team that wants to go after a big GM, they're going to call Bob Myers first. So it's no surprise that if the Hawks are doing this. But the real sign is that the Hawks are willing to pay top dollar, and what they're looking for is an experienced GM. And this is something that Tony Ressler, ever since the Wrestlers have taken over, have been criticized for, spending money. Well, if they're willing to spend money on a top GM, given the situation. I mean, this team legitimately, if the moves are done correctly, could be a contender in a very, very wide open Eastern Conference. I mean, outside of the Boston Celtics, there's not a lot here to be worried about. I mean, the Hawks could catapult into the second best team in the East if things go directly. If they're willing to pay for a top GM, it's a sign that they're probably willing to go into the luxury tax, which they have been unwilling to do in recent years.
I hope so, Chase, because it's the only way to win. In today's NBA, you can't win. It's not like baseball where you don't necessarily have to spend the most money to win a World Series. We see it every single year where there's some, sweetheart darling who's got a $60 million payroll, make a deep player. That's not how basketball works. You have to spend money to be competitive, and it's one of the most frustrating aspects of this ownership group's tenure. It's awful.
Yeah.
And frankly, I will say, we haven't given them a ton of reasons to be like, oh, yeah, I want to spend more money. But in that same breath, you got to spend money to make money. I mean, it's that simple.
I do wonder if this Hawks team, I know people as fans always want you to spend money no matter what, if they've ever quite been good enough or been in a good enough position where the Wrestlers looked at it and said, hey, this is a championship caliber team. I think this time, right now, they have no bad contracts. They have a starting 5 that's one of the youngest in the NBA. Trae Young looks like he wants to stay and see this thing through. You like what you've seen from Quinn Snyder. I think this is the one time that they might actually do it, and we'll see in the future. That wraps up our show. Thank you guys for joining us. If you like what you saw, check us out on Fox Local.
Good morning, and thanks for joining us. I'm Elizabeth Rollins, and this is News Now. You're taking a live look at Vatican City, where just moments ago, the funeral for Pope Francis came to an end. Thousands of folks gathering for his funeral. The world saying goodbye just 5 days after he passed away at 88 years old. Francis is the first Latin American pope in history. He was known for charming the world with his humble style and concern for the poor. Until Friday, he's been laying in state. Many folks coming by to see him over the past few days. He's touched so many lives across the world, including folks right here in Metro Atlanta.
What he means to us is a choice to be with the poor and a voice for the poor. He had a very special place in his heart for people who had migrated in and out of countries.
And again, that funeral wrapping up shortly after noon Italy time, just after 6:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. But Live Now is re-airing it, so be sure to, if you missed that coverage, they have continuing coverage right now on Live Now. Well, we hope you're having a great start to your weekend. Want to check in with Alex Forbes with a look at the forecast. Alex, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Elizabeth. I tell you what, we were rocking and rolling across parts of North Georgia last night. We saw widespread storms across the area, and those storms brought hail to a number of spots, including in Gainesville, where you can see it covering the ground in this particular spot. It looked to be just below quarter-inch size. This storm ended up going severe shortly after as it moved into Habersham County, but that's how it looked through the overnight hours last night. You saw that line really come through the Atlanta area, 9:30, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock last night, and now the front is on our doorstep, and that's going to clear this cloud cover out across the area. Here's how much rain we saw in the past 24 hours. You see some spots, not a whole lot, half inch, 4/10 of an inch, 6/10 of an inch up in Calhoun, but then other spots, especially up in Habersham County, and then along the ridge line there, about 2.7, 2.6, yeah, upwards of 3 inches. Here in DeKalb, we saw 1.1, 1.1 down in Coweta, and then 0.7 up in Forsyth counties on this last Friday evening, I should say. All right, here's a live look at the airport. You see a couple peaks of blue sky. All right, here comes the front. In Atlanta, we're at 67 now, warming up from about 62 earlier this morning. Officially picked up about 3/4 of an inch of rain, and as we find our way through the afternoon, here we go into the 80s across North Georgia with a 20% chance of some showers. Mind you, that is an 80% chance of staying dry across Metro Atlanta and North Georgia. So I think only a few people are going to see rain today, and honestly, those who do are not going to see a whole lot of it. Now, what everybody's going to see is about 13 hours and 23 minutes worth of daylight. Yeah, that sun came up this morning at 6:54. It does not set until 8:17 tonight, so that's a pretty long day as we get into the end of April, now the beginning of May. Look at this. By just May 1st, that's middle of next week, we're going to add 10 minutes worth of daylight. And by the time we get to June 20th, which is the first day of summer, we're going to add about an hour's worth. Sunrise at 6:27, sunset at 8:51. So yes, the longer days are on the way. 82 here in the city today and in a lot of the suburbs, Snowville, Lawrenceville, Duluth, 82 in Kennesaw, 82 in Marietta, 83 in Riverdale. Down on the south side, mid-80s on the board once again, low to mid-80s, and then up towards the north. So mind you, average high is 76, and we're going to sail right past that in most spots here across the area. Then for tonight, down to about 62, 59 in Stonecrest, 57 in Tucker, 56 in Kennesaw. So Atlanta's, they're going to be the urban heat island, right? 60 in Manchester, 58 in Franklin, and 61 over in Eatonton. Up on the north side, look at that. Wouldn't surprise me to sprinkle in maybe a 40-degree temperature way up there to the north. Here's your Fox 5 Storm Team 7-day forecast. A 30% chance of rain on Monday, up from 20% this weekend. Nothing crazy. Again, most people won't see rain. That's a 70% chance of staying dry. But Elizabeth, these high temperatures through the next 7 days and into the month of May are going to be above average, as are the low temperatures. Instead of 70s and 50s, we're doing 80s and 60s.
Ooh, I love summer, but I just don't love the heat. Thanks, Alex. All right, turning now, as Atlanta prepares to host the World Cup next year, MARTA is now saying that they may not be prepared to handle it. We want to go to our Lindsay Tuman, who is joining us now live with details. Lindsay, good morning.
Good morning to you, Elizabeth. This is revolving around a plan that MARTA was working on. It's currently under construction in order to get people around the downtown area a little bit more easily. Now, city leaders are not happy with the latest developments from MARTA, which say they may not have this project done in time for the World Cup, and it's going to cost a lot more money. So this is about the Rapid A Line bus route, which runs from 5 points down to the south side of the Beltline. It's a 5-mile loop that hits on some of the busiest parts of downtown, including, of course, 5 Points City Hall, Summerhill, Peoplestown, and again, down to the Beltline. Really an area that could benefit from this dedicated line of transportation. It's supposed to function kind of like an express bus route. And this week, MARTA leaders told the Atlanta City Council that that project, which is currently under construction, is not going to be done in time for the World Cup. Now, it was supposed to be at least partially operational this summer and then fully in service by the World Cup. Now, MARTA leaders say that they've run into some logistical issues that are holding up this project. The cost of it also doubling. It was supposed to be $58 million, but now it looks like it's going to be $123 million. And City Council member Julian Bond says MARTA is asking the city to cover that expense.
It is a huge problem. They're asking us to pay more, which I don't think is going to happen.
Well, at this time, the Atlanta COO has asked MARTA leaders to give an inventory of an itemized inventory of why exactly this price is doubling. But again, you're hearing from city council members that they don't think the city is going to fit the bill. The project, though, already underway. So the question is, when is it going to get done and who's going to pay for it? And of course, we'll stay on top of this developing story. Back to you, Elizabeth.
All right, thanks so much. Lindsay Tuman reporting. Well, we want to give you a live look at Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport this Saturday morning. Coming up after this break, we will show you how Delta employees are raising money for cancer. That's coming up in just a bit. And welcome back. I'm Elizabeth Rollins, and this is News Now. We continue to follow the latest headlines today. The world remembering Pope Francis. Thousands of folks gathering to remember the pontiff who died at 88 years old following a stroke. He had been lying in state for several days, and many folks paying their respects, saying goodbye to him today. Also, we have a breaking news update from that officer-involved shooting on MLK Boulevard earlier this week. Demario Smith, we now know, was wanted for an armed robbery and aggravated assault, was shot and killed by a Fulton County police officer after fleeing from authorities. He refused police orders, produced a handgun, and was subsequently shot by officers. He later died at Grady Memorial Hospital. Also, a 25-year-old elementary school teacher was fatally shot in DeKalb County. The suspect, Janae Colbert, was arrested and charged with malice murder. The victim's family says that the two were in a relationship. Colbert has been booked in the DeKalb County Jail on murder charges. And want to give you a look at Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport, where Delta employees are raising money for cancer. Check this out. Delta employees actually managed to team up and pull a airplane with their own strength. This was intense. This was happening yesterday. They had teams, many folks coming to, again, raise money for cancer. They've raised over $1 million already. Watch this. This is wild.
This is one of the highlights of the year. I just spoke to someone from Boise. I spoke to someone that flew internationally. This is one of the biggest events we have in the year to fight cancer.
Wow. Raising money for cancer yesterday. Today, we're raising money for lupus in Metro Atlanta. We want to go to our Caitlin Pratt, who is joining us now live from the Lupus Walk in Piedmont Park. Caitlin.
Hey, good morning to you, Elizabeth. Yes, everyone here starting to gather. You can see all those purple tents behind me here. The music is starting up. But I want to introduce you to the CEO of the Lupus Foundation, Terry. Terry, what is this day all about?
Today is about celebrating. It's about celebrating all of our milestones, all the different things that we have done. We've got people with lupus who are coming here. They are tired, they are sick, and they still made the effort to get up this morning and come out. And they've raised funds for us, and these funds are needed for a very crucial program, critical program. And we're just happy to have everybody out here today.
55,000 people here in Georgia suffering from this autoimmune disease, but it's not well known. How are you trying to change that?
Well, events like this help us. We'll have close to 5,000 people here today that will show up at this. But we also do education programs, do awareness, we have social media, a big part of what we do is to create partnerships with other entities, like Morehouse School of Medicine that is here today, Emory University, Piedmont Hospital, Augusta University, getting down to Albany State University, really making sure that we spread the word across the state, making sure we can get to all these vulnerable populations that need our help.
Wonderfully said, Terry. Thanks for taking time for us. And I'm going to give you guys just a tour of the setup here at Piedmont Park. Right now, you can see each of these tents. That's one team that will be walking here today. Two options. There's a longer walk and a shorter walk for maybe those who need to take it easy today or maybe have some other plans. But you can see the crowd, Elizabeth, already starting to gather here. Not only participants, but volunteers stationed throughout Piedmont Park with signs, with water, Gatorade, just trying to encourage these walkers to raise money for research and for a cure for lupus. We're going to be here live throughout the morning here on Fox Local, so I hope you'll stick along for the ride.
All right.
Sending it back to you.
Thanks so much, Caitlin. Along for the ride. There's plenty to do around Atlanta today, so take us with you. Make sure that you tune in to our Fox on the radio. We'll be right back. And welcome back. I'm Elizabeth Rollins. This is News Now. We have a lot of events going on around the Metro Atlanta area. We hope you're having a wonderful Saturday. We want to check in with Eli Jordan, who's in Locust Grove, where they're having Locust Grove Day. Eli, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Elizabeth. Yes, it's Locust Grove Day, one of the oldest festivals in Henry County. Locust Grove Day started off as Fire Engine Day back in 1956, and it's been going on ever since. Now it's Locust Grove Day, and they're going to have a parade starting at 10. It's going to start at Martin Luther King Drive, head north on Highway 42, and turn into the Locust Grove Municipal Complex, where everything will kick off then after the parade. They got all sorts of vendors and things, and wares and sales and crafts, and one of my favorite ones is Joe Moran's birdhouses. Hello, Joe. How you doing?
Yeah, fine. How you doing?
I'm doing great. So tell me, did you make all these birdhouses?
Oh, yeah, every one of them. I do it every year for the last, I guess, 18 years.
So tell me, how hard is it to make these lovely birdhouses?
Well, since I've been retired, see, I ain't got nothing to do, so, hey, got to have fun, something to do, so make birdhouses.
So are you from Locust Grove?
Yes. I've been here 25 years.
Awesome. And then this is one birdhouse that I particularly like a whole lot. It's the Alabama Crimson Tide birdhouse here.
Right. Yeah, I got Alabama, I got Georgia, and quite a few of them.
Awesome, awesome. Well, hopefully you'll be selling a bunch of, looks like bluebird houses, right?
Oh, yeah. Bluebird houses. All of these here are cedar. The bottom of opens up, so you can clean them out every year. Yeah, I sell quite a few of them.
So you heard it here. Come down here and get one of Joe's bluebird homes. He's also got bird feeders. He's got an Alabama Crimson Tide birdhouse. He's got a Georgia birdhouse. There's all sorts of other things. Thank you very much, Mr. Moran. Joe, yeah. And so, yeah, this goes on until 2 o'clock, from 10 a.m. until 2 here at the Locust Grove Day. And then later on this evening, they're going to have dancing in the streets around 7, and then they're going to have fireworks at 9. And you can see there's all sorts of cool wares and soaps and crafts and things like that. And they also got some really good food here. The food trucks just got here, and looks like we got some we got some pork rinds right here, don't we? You guys make these pork rinds? Yes. All right, we got some homemade pork rinds here, and then we got the kiddie rides that are just now being set up. And here's the little carousel, or not a carousel, but anyways, they got like food trucks. They got icy machines, all sorts of good stuff, boba teas, barbecue, and just, Locust Grove, they're coming out, showing what they can do, selling their crafts, selling their tasty treats, selling their wares. One of the oldest festivals in Henry County since 1956. And people are just going to come out here and have a good time. Locust Grove, it's a little town of about 12,000 people. And so, it's a nice little quaint thing. There's a lot of other festivals going on, but if you don't want to go to those big, huge, busy festivals where it's like packed shoulder to shoulder, I'd say come out here to Locust Grove and check out all these different things that you can purchase, give as gifts. Mother's Day's coming up, guys. You got to get your mother a present. So come on down here to Locust Grove. The parade starts at 10. Ends here at the municipal complex, and then everybody's going to be partying, eating food, buying crafts, having a good time, sipping on cold summertime beverages, and then they got fireworks at 9 o'clock, sorry, fireworks at 9 o'clock. And they got some good crafts over here. We got some knitting crafts, nice homemade stuff. Get ready for the winter time, handmade. Oh yeah. All sorts of good stuff here with heart and soul put into it. So I'll be out here all morning checking out the different things for people to come out here and check out for themselves.
Eli Jordan, thank you so much. I hope you bring me back some pork rinds. Those look delicious. All right. We've got so many things going on this weekend. We've put a montage of some of the things, including where Eli is in Locust Grove. We've got Caitlin Pratt at Piedmont Park. There's so many other things. Make sure you go to our website, fox5atlanta.com. We have all things for you to do if you're looking for anything to do. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. I'm Elizabeth Rollins here with Alex Forbes. You brought the rain, but it's going away.
It is going away, for the most part, across North Georgia. So, yeah, we saw some storms last night. It was kind of rocking and rolling here across parts of the area. So I went back on Fox 5 Live Viper, pulled it up. It was really that 9, 10 o'clock hour last night. Uh-oh. There it goes. Okay. It was that 9, 10 o'clock hour last night that we saw the heavy rain and the lightning and even some hail in a couple of spots. And good day earlier, I showed some pictures out of Rome yesterday of some decent hail on the ground. Well, now we're left with this. The skies, they're clearing. The morning fog that we had is lifting, and most of the shower activity is off into South Carolina. So 67 in the city now, 63 in Canton, 65 in Gainesville, and 61 over in Blairsville. Here's how the rest of the day looks. And as I alluded to, yes, the rain is mostly gone, but not completely gone. We'll still hang on to a couple of scattered showers across the area into the evening tonight, about a 20% chance of that across North Georgia. But by and large, for the day today, I think most people will stay dry. So that's a piece of good news in all of this. 82 is going to be our high temperature. Some spots as cool as 77, other spots as warm as 83. But look, our average high is 76. So we're above that. Ooh. It's not crazy. But I think we could enter crazy territory next week.
Yeah.
86 on Wednesday, 87 there on Thursday. We're also going to remain unsettled, about a 20 to 30% chance of rain there Wednesday, Thursday, also a 30% chance of rain there on Monday. So by and large, look, this looks like a summertime pattern, but it's not that. All right, we're getting into May next week. It is still spring. And I would say this, once we get into next weekend and probably into the following week, I think we'll be a little closer to average, and we'll put this above average stuff behind us, at least for the time being.
Glad to see it's drying out. I wasn't expecting. I tripped and fell in the parking lot yesterday because it was raining.
Yeah.
Wow. I definitely need the parking lot to dry out for a few days.
Well, we'll do the best we can today and tomorrow. But look, everybody looks at that 20% chance of rain and goes, okay, well, it's not going to rain. Some people are going to see some showers today, okay. All right? Don't get me wrong, but most people will not.
Okay, well, I'm going to wear my tennis shoes all day and not my heel.
Okay, sounds like a plan.
All right, thanks so much, Alex Forbes. Well, of course, we continue to follow the very latest in Vatican City, where the Pope was laid to rest just hours ago. This is a live look at Vatican City, where thousands of folks gathered this morning. It was really early, 4 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 10 a.m. over in Italy when that mass funeral started. This is video from earlier today as they laid the Pope to rest. Our coverage continues throughout the morning. In fact, I actually spoke to a Atlanta bishop who we're going to hear from in just about the next hour. But we appreciate you staying with us and streaming with us live. This is Fox Local. I'm Elizabeth.
Well, you already know all the songs. We're talking songs like You Make Me Feel Like a Natural Woman, I Feel the Earth Move, It's Too Late, so many classics. But do you know the stories behind those songs? Well, you will when Beautiful, the Carole King musical, opens at City Springs Theater Company. It's going to be incredible, in large part because of the leading lady, Megan K. Hill. Carole King, it's great to see you. How are you?
Thank you. I'm doing so well.
So how are rehearsals going?
They're fantastic.
Yeah?
We really hit the ground running week one. We've already finished the first half, and it's been so great with this group to see how everyone shines in all these like different parts of the show, because there's so much different music and all these different groups, and everyone's really like running on and off stage to like get to the next big hit for the audience to see.
Well, and so to that point, in case people don't know, this is crammed full of songs. Like it is nonstop music that everybody knows, right?
Oh yeah, and it really feels like you'll have like a scene for 2 minutes and then it's the next hit, and then a little scene and then the next hit, and they roll right into each other. So really, it feels like you're getting like 3 whole albums in just one musical.
That's what we want. Now, are you ready for the audience to sing along with you? Because we already know the words.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, all right.
I love that personally.
Good.
But I've never been in a show like this where everyone knows all the words.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be really fun, and really fun for like different generations of people who know all the music.
Yeah, for sure. I told you before, so when I was in college, of course, everybody in the 70s had tapestry. You had to have tapestry. So my dad had it. And then when I went to college, I stole his album and it became my tapestry. And I listened to it nonstop. What was your first introduction to Carole King?
Oh, my first introduction was the CD of Tapestry in my mom's minivan because